the 4 pedagogical principles that I mentioned before, we do discuss in detail during the training. And when you come out, you should be confident at delivering training that meets all 4 principles. So we should be participatory, horizontal, and experiential. We build a feminist classroom. What is a feminist classroom? We talk about that a lot. And we also need to be fully inclusive and build in decoloniality with meaning, as Michelle has shared. And I look forward to improving my understanding and knowledge of decoloniality and decolonizing methods, and think about how I could integrate those better into my own work and my own trainings. We engage with personal and lived experience. So when you're doing a feminist training, you will be encouraging your participants to reflect on their own experiences of intersectioning inequalities and privilege. Some of the challenges can come up here. What about when the personal experience contradicts or contrasts with what you're trying to get across in the training? So if you have sexist opinions or racist opinions that are coming out, how do we deal with those situations? So at the one hand, we value personal experience, but that also brings challenges, which you don't get when you're giving a PowerPoint presentation, for example. How do we focus on impact, results, and change? So as part of a feminist project, we want to have some kind of change and be able to see that change. So how do we hold our participants accountable? How do we usually learn to have an action plan or something like that, and a follow-up session to really continue to build in this accountability to part of the training. So it's not just the participants attended a training, tick, done. It's much more meaningful than that. And it needs to be embedded in broader change process. For example, how is this training fit into the gender action plan of your organization? What actual capacity do your participants have to implement the knowledge that they gain? And how can we follow up and support them to implement that knowledge? And finally, how can we encourage participants to engage critically? How can we develop this critical thinking and open-mindedness? What kinds of activities, what kinds of approaches best promote this kind of learning? And also particularly in virtual trainings where people are tending to be multitasking, they're usually busy, they're often called away to a meeting at the last minute. How can we make our training so engaging that they don't want to be texting, they don't want to be doing something else, they want to be here with us now learning?